Hey guys, and welcome to the Parrott Bros. Today we're going to be doing a video on rear seat delete bars. Now that is the manufacturing of them and also where you can purchase them ready-made. So if you need a rear seat delete bar, then this is the video for you. So stick around, we're going to jump into the intro. Okay guys, so basically what I wanted to show you is how I have made it and obviously what is involved and the things you'll need and all that kind of good stuff. Now mine is the, if you've watched the video before, I've done the custom one myself, so I've actually made all of this wood including into the lower section. I've covered it in like a suede kind of material, which I'm still on the fence about. To be honest, I may just get a black carpet, but it's not too bad, it's just not as hard wearing as a carpet. Now this video is I'm going to show you how to make this bar. Now the net I actually purchased from, well, I say purchased, I was given by someone who purchased it off of eBay, and I'll send you the link. I'll put the link in the description. It's not quite as thick as the one from Cloude Customs. Theirs is sort of like a seatbelt thickness. This one is a lot thinner. It's about an inch in width. I think their one is 2 inch or 2.5 inch, and it does look a little better, but this one was free and is probably going to be cheaper than their net. So if you're looking for the cheap option DIY, then the details are there for you. This I actually purchased the other day, which I quite like, because obviously if you're like me and you put stuff in your boot and you don't want it sliding around, then the nets are a great option. They obviously mount to the original points, and if you haven't got one, you can get them on eBay. They come up sometimes second hand, sometimes you can buy sort of an aftermarket one of a good size. I'll put the measurements in the description below so you've got an idea of what you're looking for. So yeah, rear seat delete bar. Now you're going to need a few things. I'll name them just generically to start with, and then we'll go into the details of them specifically. Now the bar itself is a length of 1 meter tube, which you cut down slightly. The bar ends are original Audi TT Mk1 roll hoops off of a convertible. Let me just get the tripod set up and I can show you a bit better. So basically these are just end caps which would normally be on the hoop. I'll put a picture up of the convertible TTs. You only need one pair, there's 2 per car. You can usually purchase them for somewhere in the region of sort of 10 to 20 pound a pair. Because of this video they may go up in price a little bit, so I do apologise because they'll probably be more popular. But that is if you want that option. You don't have to have that, it just sort of finishes it off nice and it gives it that sort of quattro sport look. Which everyone kind of strives to do. Now you have to buy a specific diameter pipe, which we'll go into in details in a minute, just so that will fit over that perfectly, because this does slide. It is a little bit tight, which is what you want, but it will, it's not going to do it now because it's tight, but yeah, it slides. You can see there, look, it moves on the edge there, so it does slide, but it is a snug fit, which is what you want. You don't want it rolling backwards and forwards. And that is pretty much it. You'll need a couple of end caps to put in the end of the pipe to mount it onto the original seat pins. So yeah, let's get stuck into the build of this thing. So I'll quickly take it out, and then I will show you what it's done and how it's fitted afterwards. So I'll just come back to you once I've got it out. What I wanted to do was just quickly show you what you're going to have in the car. So you've taken your rear seats out, you've built something, or you've covered it with something or something. Now you're going to be left with these. Now these are the standard pins for the rear seats, and they hold the rear seat uprights up. There's one on both sides, and they are a 5mm Allen key which goes into the end. And you'll probably notice I've actually put some tape around the shoulder at the back of mine, which I'll explain why in a minute. But if you want to remove them, there's a 17mm nut in that hole, which you'll need a deep socket for, or a swan neck spanner if you've got a swan neck spanner. And basically you want to get them out. If you see, I'll zoom right in, there you go. You see the nut right at the back there? That's a 17mm nut with a 5mm Allen key in the head there to get those out. You don't have to get them out, I've just wound them in as far as I could, and then I've taped them. Now the reason I've done the taping is to basically keep that shoulder at the same height all the way back, which I'll come to in a minute as to why we've done that. Now this is what you'll be left with if you have taken your seats out and you've built yourself a seat delete and you want to make the bar. Now The Cloud 9 Customs comes with everything you possibly need. I believe you remove them and they've actually got a piece of kit made to put there instead. Now, for the DIY option, we're going to reuse those. And what I've done is, again, let me get me camera set up there so I can talk and show you. So I've got a piece of pipe, yeah, which is 50 millimeters in diameter, and on eBay it's listed as, I think it's like an exhaust tube or just steel rolled tube, and that's the only one that I could find with the perfect diameter to allow you to put these on. And they do slide, they are tight. Best thing you can do is put a little bit of fairy liquid on them or something, just to allow them to slide over the pipe when you're doing it, because you're going to have it on and off a few times. You may want to paint the pipe, which will make it ever so slightly bigger and whatever. Now, these roll hoops, what I'll do is I'll show you these quickly while I've got it out. So basically, that's the roll hoop, and it gives you sort of a bit of depth to hide anything, which we'll show you in a second. And there's this rubber seal. Now, this rubber seal sits in this channel here, which then allows you this really nice smooth on and off, and it keeps it from sliding around, which is what you want. And like I said, a little bit of grease or a little bit of fairy liquid or something, just to make it easier to slide. Otherwise it can get a bit cut up if you keep taking it on and off on a sharp edge. Now, the piece of pipe I've cut down to a length. Now, yours may differ, so I'll give you a rough idea. It's about 970 mil. Check before cutting, because when you put in these end caps, it does also alter the length of the pipe. So you have to sort of add everything together, and the best thing you can do is cut it slightly long and then cut it down to size afterwards. Now, all these are a plastic push fit end pipe. Now, they usually come with no hole in the middle. They were £2 or £2.50 off of eBay, and all I've got is a Starrett cutter or a hole saw, like a staggered hole saw, and just cut that hole to the size of this over here. So that basically sits on there perfectly. You can see there that it won't fall off, and it's the perfect size with the shoulder of tape that I said about earlier. And that is basically what we're going to be putting into the end of the pipe. You can see how good a fit it is. There you go. So, and all we do is literally pop that in the end of your pipe. It's quite a snug fit. Give it a tap. There we go. So you can see there. See what I mean? You need to allow for this. This is actually about 5 mil. So always measure many times. Best thing you can do is get the whole piece of pipe. It'll be a meter long. Put it up against the one side, or put it up against, let's say we'll put it up against this side here, and then you want to measure against the other side, or if you have it, say like that, measure it on the other side. You'll get a feel for it, or make a template out of something, but that's what you want to do. Now, on the other end, because obviously this end is going to go over your dowel, yeah, so that just slides into the hole and will sit nice and snug. Now, on the other side, again, you want an end cap, and what you want to do with this end cap is you need to make a slot, because this slot is where the pipe on the other side is going to drop down over that bolt. Okay, so one end, yeah, one end is just pipe all the way around with an end cap with a hole. The other end is pipe with an end cap in, but it's got a slot cut out. Now, that slot is going to be the width of that bolt plus a couple of mil, because you want it obviously so it goes over the top. And then the end cap you want to cut slightly smaller, because you want to basically have to just push it down and it will pucker in. Let me get the other end of the pipe. And you see there I've undercut it. Now, I've undercut it so that once it goes past there, it'll sit there and it won't want to come back out. Now, the pipe can't fall off anyway, because when we're finished, we're going to push the end cap over, and that's like that. So let's say if you brake really hard or whatever, the seatbelt pin physically can't come out, because it can't go past this outer ring. And this, where I've cut it slightly smaller, stops it from wobbling around. So it is quite a snug fit. It's quite a simple idea. It's not bolted in or anything. And I'll go into the other option available for the DIY as well. So push your caps on. They are a proper pain in the butt to get over the edge of the pipe. Once they're on, they are sweet, but you have to kind of put them on dead straight, and it is really fiddly. But once they're on, yeah, that's why you need a 50mm, because the end caps only fit over a 50mm bit of pipe. Right, there we go. So that's over. So what I'll do is I'll show you one end, and then I'll show you. So this end, on this far end here, we're just going to push it over there. Yep. So it just puckers in. Then we'll come over to this side, and all we'll do is we're going to put it on top. I'll try and give you a close up. Put it on top. Yeah. Like I said earlier, so you can see there, you've got your slot cut out. Get out of the sunlight. You've got your slot cut out, which means the bolt can just go through the metal. And then all we're going to do is put it on top and just give it a little tap, and it will go in, and then just a bit of grease on the pipe, and then you can just push this over both ends, and then it will just pucker up nice. We'll do the same on the other side. A little bit of grease again. There we go. Pushed on nice. So there we go. We have a seat delete bar. So there's your bar. I'll just put this down and give it a shake. There you go. Look, you can see there's very little movement. The only movement is a tiny bit in the end of that plastic. You can see that is pretty solid. I'm actually shaking the car, not the bar. Now I've just left mine metal coloured. At some point I will get round to painting it, but I wanted to get this video made, get it out there so you could all have a go at making one yourself. Now that is the bar. The other option you've got, which I'll flash a couple of pictures up that I've seen people do in the past, is you can do an interference fit. So basically cut it slightly oversized and then basically push it in. Because on the sides here there's material, obviously there's this material which has a bit of give in it, and there's the leather here which again has a bit of give in it. So what you can do is cut it 5 or 10mm too big and basically push it in this end and then just slot it into the other end. You will need to take the 2 metal pins out for the rear upright seats, because you won't be needing them if you're just going to do the interference fit. But quite a few people have done that. You can do that with anything. I mean, money wise, you can do that on the cheapest option for a £5. Just go and buy yourself a bit of 50mm drain pipe or flow pipe from Wicks. Comes in black and white. I think it's something like 5 or 6 quid a metre, so you can go and buy yourself one of them, slightly overcut it and literally just wedge it in. You can also, if you want to, get a Stanley knife and just slightly trim it so that your pipe sits inside between the leather and the carpet. Again, that's a really easy budget DIY option, but I wanted to go for something a bit more like the Quattro Sport one without having to spend the money. Now the Cloud 9 custom ones I'll jump into, because I did a little video with someone the other day because they had a rear seat delete and I wanted to film it so I could show everyone. It's made to a great quality, and to be honest isn't that much more expensive. The bar itself is £125 with all the fixings. So if you think this one, the tube's 15 quid, the end caps could be sort of £20, so that's £30–35. You've then got paint, your time, the end caps. So you could spend a few hours doing it and you spent sort of 40 or 50 quid. The other one's 125. It gets delivered to your door, you fit it, it's a perfect fit. So it all depends on whether you like a bit of a fettle like me, or you want to buy something that's done and you just bolt it in. Fitting is not similar, but it comes with all the bits you need, and the fitting guide is very straightforward. I've seen how they fit, very good fit. Again, no rattles, no shakes. Once fitted, they're in. So that's that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, net wise, again, Cloud 9 Customs make a net. I'll show you the net in the video in a minute. But this net was bought from eBay. I'll put the link in the description, and basically they make window nets for race cars. But if you send them the dimensions of the net you want, depending on whether you want it to go from sort of the point here just upwards, or you want it to tuck into a seat delete, or what you want, and they will make you one to order. But like I said, it's a thinner strip like mine, but it is entirely what you want. So that is the rear seat delete. We'll jump into the Cloud 9 Customs video now, and I'll show you their rear seat delete and the bar. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you the Cloud 9 Customs rear seat delete while I've got the opportunity, because we're taking Graham's car apart, so it seemed like the ideal opportunity just to give you a quick sort of show around. Now, it's a 3-piece construction, so this is one piece, the whole base, which is Sits against there, so where obviously where the seats were, and it has this groove which clearly Graham hasn't cleaned for a while, and it comes all in one piece up to here. It's actually metal in construction, so you're not going to damage it, and it fits perfectly. You can see here it fits really nice against the carpet. It fits perfectly against the sides and up to the sort of rear boot trim there. Obviously he hasn't bolted it down because he doesn't intend on keeping his car too long. So yeah, this is piece one, and then obviously you've got the net, which is an option available as well, which again, when bolted down properly, is the perfect fit. And obviously when you brake, say you're doing a bit of spirited driving, you're not going to get the contents of your boot coming through to join you in the front, which is always nice. And then you've got the rear bar, which obviously holds it, which you have these rings which slide this way and it bolts in, so it's actually fixed construction, doesn't go anywhere. And yeah, that is it. Okay guys, so I put mine all back together again, so there you have it. That is the Parrott Bros rear seat delete. Let me know what you think. You've seen the Cloud 9 one, you've seen the Parrott Bros one. Let me know if you've done anything differently. To be honest, I love seeing what people have done with their cars. It's all about personal preference. Someone likes something different, you may not like the bar at all. So yeah, let us know what you think. Also, just wanted to quickly throw it out there, we're going to be doing a little bit of merch. I'm going to do some stickers. I'm not really planning anything else. Obviously, if you like my hats, I might get a couple more hats made and maybe some t-shirts, but to be honest, we're just going to do some stickers with the new logo, which I'll show you now. So big shout out to Perennial Designs for doing the new logo. Absolutely love it, looks wicked. Can't wait to get the stickers made, which will be in the next few weeks. Keep an eye out for that on the Parrott Bros Facebook page and Instagram. Will be all over there. But yeah, so that is the rear seat delete. Hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, guys. Again, that's another video from the Parrott Bros. Bye for now.